Hi, my name is Larmel Madrilejos. I'm a teacher and a doctoral student on the southern border of the United States and Mexico. I teach in a district here in the Rio Grande Valley, where 98% of my students are Hispanic. For my 14 years of teaching in the southern border, my life was impacted by students' experiences, personal struggle, and environmental struggle. This podcast titled Students Living Beyond Mexican Borders will tell how life living along the border impacted their life in the classroom. The first topic is La Migra, a slang term of U.S. Custom and Border Patrol or other immigration law enforcement. By law and regulation, immigration law enforcement cannot look for illegal immigrants or students in the school vicinity. Some of my students are living in the dark due to immigration status. Part 1 of my podcast is titled La Migra.
How do you feel about your students' immigration status?
I felt terrible for the students who are living in this situation. They are too young to feel and scared and carry the burden of immigration issues as students. They should be scared if they commit a crime against the law, but they are good students who studied hard and do their best in the mathematics. Most have legal status because they were born here, but their parents don't have the papers to work and live in the United
Custom and
States.
Border Patrol here.
Like Emiliano Zapata of Memory of Fire, he was born in the saddle, a rider and a breaker in the horses. He navigates the countryside on the horseback, carefully not to disturb the deep sleep of the earth. Emiliano Zapata is a man of silence, someone who talks by keeping quiet. These are my students, like Emiliano Zapata.
What advice you can tell your students to avoid immigration issues?
I would tell them that as a human, it is natural to be scared, especially since most of them think their parents will be taken away from them. I advise my students to focus on their education and excel in every subject because the US needed future teachers, doctors, lawyers, and scientists who could be of any of race. This country is a land of opportunity, and you have the chance to get the best education to take advantage of it. Dream big and aim to finish college, not only high school, because this is the opportunity to help your parents to live in the dream, the American dreams.
What are the laws to prevent your students not to be apprehended by immigration law enforcement?
By law, United States ensures opportunity to protect all students and have access for free education and avoid discrimination. This includes the right of all students in the United States to attend the public elementary and secondary schools, regardless of their immigration or citizenship status. I have spoken with some of my U.S. Navy buddies, Border Patrol, and U.S. Custom and Immigration agent friends. They said that they could not apprehend anyone within the
Custom and Border
school
Patrol
of
here.
vicinity. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Lyler versus Doe that undocumented children and young adults have the same right to attend public, primary, and secondary school as a U.S. citizen and permanent residents. The immigration law is changing with the influx of immigrants crossing the border daily. As I told my students about this law, they felt good learning about the U.S. law of equal rights and opportunity to get an education in this country. Moreover, you still students coming to school daily and some miss school because of personal situation. I told my students to take advantage of their education and finish college quickly, which may help them and their family apply for permanent residency. The part 2 of this podcast titled Mathematics in Alternative Campus. The second topic is about mathematics in alternative campus. The issue is about my experience with my students in alternative campus. As I have taught in the same campus for many years, I have seen the good and the bad in the educational system. Some students that came to our high school were in trouble. Some dropped out or under probation, or are incarcerated due to misdemeanors, and some are teen parents or teen pregnancy. These are the students that we serve in our campus and trying to improve their lives by finishing high school.
Why do you choose to teach on an alternative campus?
Being a teacher in an alternative campus, I have the great experience that impacted my life as an educator. I never thought I would teach students and was affected by the stories. When I was young, I used to watch American movies. Movies that are primarily in educational settings. It was an ideal scene in a class setting. For example, the teacher gives instruction while the student listens. It was a perfect classroom scene, inspired me to become a teacher because I used to imagine how teachers touched students' lives. This was the reason why I became a teacher. However, I've seen the reality of students' lives and the struggles to finish high school. Some students did not have parent guidance and teacher support. Most of them joined the wrong crowd and became at risk of falling or failing the classes. Some students fell in the crack that teachers never noticed it. Perhaps some teachers want to help the at-risk students, but due to the plenty of tasks, they could not save them from failing or dropping out of school. This is the real story in traditional high school. I ask most of my students this question. ¿Qué pasó, mijo? Mija? My question refers to their life in traditional school. Most of the responses are very concerning. I am a troubled kid. I never come to class. My teacher doesn't care about me. These are the sad responses I heard from my students in alternative campus. As an educator, I look at this statement personally. It sounds like teacher has control over students' future, but it is not. They were not able to help them due to plenty of tasks. First, the praise I am troubled kid. Teachers should investigate internally and externally. Internally, we should look at the DMAC or data from the past, like elementary and middle school datas. Search for the track records, grades, the annual and referral data detention. While externally, investigate for friends, gang affiliation, drug abuse, parental support, and living condition during home visit. With this research, you may get data that can help the student on why or he or she is a troubled student. Second, I never come to class. Teacher in traditional high school must recognize any alarming signs of consecutive absences. When students don't show up on the class, the campus liaison must be automatically notified upon submitting daily attendance for report for all teachers. Finally, my teacher doesn't care about me. Due to the plenty of students in traditional classroom, it might be student misinterpret that teacher doesn't care about them. I know all people in teaching profession care about their students. However, crowded classes, and sometimes the teacher was overwhelmed with tasks, which may be the reason student thinks the teacher doesn't care about them.
How do you feel teaching at-risk students in alternative
When I, when I was moved to alternative campus, I was very concerned that the students were out here because of the perception of school for bad students. But then I have seen students with looks different compared to traditional high school. Some students are members of gangs, dealing drugs with other students, came from juvenile, previously incarcerated, and teen pregnancy. All of them need to graduate to be able to move on to have a better life. My students taught me more compassion in life than I thought I had enough. During some of our conversation, I heard a lot of personal stories that were so sad. De Las Casas, 1992 states, from infancy, parental teaching at home revolves around the idea of strength and self-control. According to one of my students, "Sir, I'm trying to survive every day because my parents were in the jail. So I need to support my little siblings. And sometimes selling drugs is a quick money." I told them sometimes it's hard to change a bad practices if someone relies on you. I never pressure them to change immediately, and I rather help them support their family. Every week, I bought groceries for their little siblings. I secretly notified the principal that I would raise money by selling food. The students were eager to help me sell the foods that my wife cooked. The students were very cooperative and changing their perception of teamwork and working with other gang members on my behalf. They did not know that everything we earned from selling food would go to their family. They were happy that someone like me, a Filipino American teacher, cared for them. As I told them, once you are in my classroom, I will treat you as my own kids and not a student. So I want you to treat your classmates as your brothers and sisters. Show them the care I showed you all. No black, no white, no Hispanic, no gangs. Look at them as your brothers and sisters. That's what I want you to do. And that is my request from you. I wanted you all to change your bad habits. But it is not coming from me. It's coming from you to decide what is better for your life and for your family. I was very happy to see them smile and see their soft side by sharing and caring for each student. Even they were from different gangs, they showed the love. In reference to Jose de la Cruz, Crosito, Sierra Trovador, composed a 10-verse Guihara stanzas the entire history of Cuban Revolution. The student understood that education is powerful and that other people can influence. This was Jose de la Cruz Crosito was saying, education is powerful. I was guilty when one of my students said, "My teacher doesn't care about me," when he was in traditional high school. I was one of the teachers who taught in traditional campus with plenty of students in the class, with a lot of daily tasks and responsibilities. I felt I did not do my job to save the students who were at risk of falling into cracks and dropping out. Upon transferring to alternative campus, I learned not only as a teacher but as a human. I made sure to watch over all of my students that are getting into a bad habit of missing classes. According to Mayo, 2011, the socio-economic crisis depends social polarization and promote fracture within the middle classes between losers and the winners section. This social reshaping took place in educational scenario, characterized by decentralized governance and new structure of compulsory schooling. One of my students, Myra Solomon, was missing consecutive class in the night classes for credit recovery and Algebra 1 end of course. I was really concerned for her because she was doing very well in the class. Then suddenly stopped showing up. I made multiple calls but could not reach her. The liaison made the phone call but the result was the same. We decided to make the home visit to make sure she was okay. We went to her house for home visit. She was surprised when she saw us in the front of her porch. I heard the baby crying in the background. She came out to the porch with her 3 months old baby. She said she could not come to school anymore because nobody would take care of her baby. I felt bad for her situation, but it did not hold me to give a solution. I was able to convince her to come back to school and bring her baby with her. I promised that her baby would be taken care of while she was in this class. I brought my son's old crib and toys. I bought baby food for my class. She came back to attend night classes. I took care of her baby while she was doing work and reviewing. My principal was aware and we took advantage of her for tutoring and attending class while someone was babysitting her daughter. She was very happy, able to pass end of course subject in high school. And Myra was able to graduate from our campus. In reference to this reading, Tina Modetti, an Italian photographer, says, photographs mirror a grandeur in everyday things in people who work in their hands. It reflects Myra's perseverance in finishing high school, even 3 months with 3-month-old baby.
How can you change the educational system to get it better?
I was guilty when one of my students says, my teacher doesn't care about me. The education system in the United States was established long time ago. We cannot change the system, but we can improve it through study and research. We cannot all put blame to teachers in the traditional high school for why students fell on the cracks. Aside from providing better instruction to the student, there are other tasks and responsibilities for teachers every day. The students that are at risk of failing and dropping out must be monitored by someone, not only by the teacher. There should be a system that looks at this issue. So far, I have not seen this in our school district. The alternative campus program is a good for those who can come back to school. But there should be a system in the school where someone is monitoring students' attendance, grades, and referral before they decide to drop from the school. With the help of proactive liaison, it could help save students and potentially change their lives to be better citizens. These two stories about living beyond Mexican border happened before and still may happen in the future. Due to the language barrier, students thought that there was no way to survive in America just by speaking in Spanish. To conclude my podcast, I tell my students that education is key to your success. Earning a high school and college diploma is not an easy task. Duckworth 2016 said that effort counts twice. It takes sacrifice, diligence, motivation, and patience. No matter personal issue or adversity in life, the student must learn to be resilient and survive the long journey of education to be successful.